All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Super excited to be here today. We are going to focus on building a prospecting-based lead generation business. And I'm going to start out in the middle of page 49. You guys, you're going to memorize this page 49 of Shift, by the way. You're going to memorize this page over the next 12 months because I'm going to talk about it a lot. So here we go. Just because the market has moved from more to less doesn't necessarily mean you have to. As leads become fewer, you must recognize the situation and make a more concerted effort to generate them. You can't sit back. You must be more rigorous and resolute in your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. So here's what I want to tell you guys. The importance of building a prospecting-based, marketing-enhanced lead generation platform is when the market shifts, prospecting is the way or the path to success. When the market shifts, there are fewer leads. You are getting fewer buyers who are calling you who want to buy a home. You're getting fewer people who are calling you because they want to sell a home. Remember, when the market was good, people had both positive expectations of the market and personal reasons to buy and sell. Today, it's just personal reasons, which means there's a whole lot fewer people who are looking to buy and sell real estate today. And we're going to focus on the seller side of the business. And I'm going to talk to you about where I would focus if I were you. There is an abundance of expired listings in our market right now. If you are looking to build a successful real estate business in a shifting market, where I would focus is I would focus on expired listings. And it is exactly what I did, by the way. And there's still some for sale by owners out there, but you're going to see fewer of those. And you're going to see a whole lot more expired listings because sellers and a lot of real estate agents are still pricing homes based on the market we were in a year ago, 2 years ago. They're not understanding the strategic pricing conversation that we talk about here on Survive Thrive, and they're pricing properties to just above the market, and just above the market today is further above the market 30 days from now, even further in 60 days. And they're setting these sellers up for failure. Now, one of the things that I want you to start tracking is how many times does a property get listed before it sells? I can tell you in 2007 and 2008, in most cases, it was an average of 3 times. They had to fail 2 times before they got it right the 3rd time. I mean, the joke back then was firstborn, second spouse, third realtor. So where should you be fishing right now? Well, there's a pond full of expired listings. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some outside of the box suggestions, all right? Because I know that there are some of you who have call reluctance. I get it. And I'm going to give you some outside the box suggestions where you can succeed with expired listings, even if you don't pick up the phone call. All right, here's what I would do. I would write a letter, and it's a personal letter from you to the seller. Now sit down, take your time doing this. Share a story. Share a story of another seller who you worked with who also had a listing that expired. They were on the market for 6 months. They had very few showings and it didn't sell. And then they hired you. And their property sold in less than 30 days for the most amount of money in that market. Share your success stories. Share what makes you different. Why would they want to call you versus any of the other dozens of real estate agents that are reaching out to them? Remember, logic makes us think. So use logic, bury them in data, tell them what's going on in the market, but emotion makes us act. So make sure you use an emotion in these letters as well. Why would they want to put their home back on the market? Why would they still want to sell? Why would they want to hire you over someone else? Talk to me, Dave. You're on mute, friend.
If sorry, if I've never done a listing from an expired listing, and I know you're saying just come from emotion, what is some other recommendations that for that letter?
Okay. We versus I. Are you a part of a group, Dave? Are you part? Who are you in business with?
It's just, I mean, as a whole, EXP. So I could grab my local market leaders because it's just me on an island for my sales.
Okay, where are you at?
Austin, Texas area.
Okay, who's your sponsor?
His name is Keith Dublé.
Okay. Is Keith in production?
He is.
Does he have the experience with expired listings?
I would have to confirm. I feel like and maybe Brian can speak to this, in this market as well. But I don't know if we had a lot of expired or people were going after a lot of expireds because they didn't have to for a long time.
Okay.
So
okay. So
just looking to see more success stories.
Okay, one more idea, and then I'm going to move on. If there's other agents that are in this group right here, Survive to Thrive, that are in the Austin market, then and would you consider them business partners? And if the answer to that question is yes, then it's we share their success stories. You're part of that. Now, you can leave this out. You can leave out the story of someone that you've worked with before that had an expired listing, didn't sell, you listed it, the property sold fast, sold at the top of the market. Go right back to what's your message. Okay, first of all, logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. So the logic part of the message is this is what's going on in the market. All right, I know your previous agent may not have shared this with you, but this is what's going on in the market. Now, the emotional part of the conversation is what would motivate them to still sell their home in today's market? And why are you different? What would motivate them to reach out to you? The other thing that I would include in this letter is a bullet point list of what you do that makes you different. Okay, so for example, one of the things you could do is you can create a hassle-free listing. Now, a hassle-free listing program simply means satisfaction guaranteed. There's a bullet point. You can cancel your listing at any time with no fee and no stipulation if we're not meeting your goals and exceeding your expectations. There's another bullet point. And you can add additional things based on what you want to offer that makes you different. Now, for those of you who are thinking, I wouldn't want to do that. Every single listing that I took, whether it was a hassle-free listing, and maybe 5%, less than 10% would ever take me up on the offer of canceling a listing. So I had very few cancellations, and I could tell you I took a lot of listings because I had a hassle-free listing. So what makes you different? All right, back to the letter. What you want to do is you want to create a letter in your own handwriting. Now you can have it digitally printed and you can print hundreds and hundreds of copies because it's a letter that's going to go out to everyone. Now, it's going to look like your handwriting. That's important. Here's the other thing. The envelope has to be hand addressed by you. Return address, handwritten, stamp, not through a meter. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Zoom is talking to me. It has to be hand addressed. I would send out 10 a day. 10 a day, it'll probably take you 30 minutes to do this. Now, if you send out 10 a day and you work 20 days a month, that's 200 a month or 240 in a year. It's a lot, but you're only doing 10 a day. It might take you a half hour to do this, maybe longer, and you haven't picked up the phone. Now, the other thing that you could do is you can pick out 5 of those 10, or maybe all 10, and go to their house. Knock on the door. For those of you who are concerned about the do not call list, and by the way, official statement, you should be concerned about the do not call list, okay? There is no such thing as a do not knock list. So go to their house and knock on the door. Now create a door hanger that is your name, your brand, your picture, your contact information that shares exactly the same information that you sent to them via mail. So now they've heard from you twice. All right. You're demonstrating that you're aggressive. You're demonstrating that you're a hard worker. You're standing out from the competition. Now, Brian mentioned the other day, going to a house from on an expired listing and then showing them a stack of the mail that they had received, right? And it's all the same. It's all just printed envelopes, run through a meter. It looks like everything else you guys get in your mail. I want you to think for a moment when you go to your mailbox and you're looking through your mail and you see a hand-addressed envelope. Raise your hand if that's not the first thing that you look at. My guess is you guys are like me. It is the first thing that you look at every single time. Now, as Brian was pointing out to you, he was saying most of those envelopes hadn't even been opened yet. Here's how to get yours open. Hand address the envelope. It's just that simple. Now, you knock on the door, you hang you hang a flyer on the door. It looks just like the letter. What if they answer the door? All right, let's transition to that conversation. Who am I going to pick here? Megan. So I would knock on Megan's door. Megan opens the door. Hi, Megan. Or I don't know her name yet. Sorry. Hi, my name is John Dietz. I'm a local real estate expert, and I stopped by today because I noticed your listing came off the market. Megan, by this time I've asked her name. Sorry, guys. Have it. I'm curious. If I had an offer on your home, are you still interested in selling your home? All right. There's one question. I'm just going to give you some follow-up questions. It's not all script. Just write these down as questions. Just out of curiosity, if your home would have sold, where are you moving to? Hey, by the way, one of the reasons that I'm asking where you would move to is I have properties that are listed for sale in the area. And part of my job is to find buyers for my sellers who are selling in today's market. After all, that's exactly what you would want me to do for you, isn't it? Now, how soon were you looking to move to blank? What's important about moving to blank? For those who say, well, I'm just going to take a break, I understand. Now, in the meantime, between now and when you put your home back on the market, if a buyer showed up with a full price cash offer, what would you do? They're going to say, I'd sell my home, by the way, guys. Now, your next question is, what if I had that offer? Would you want me to bring it to you? Now, you're standing at the front door. Do whatever you want to do, but I'm not going to ask if I can just come in. My response is going to be, I popped by. I don't have an appointment. However, I would love to schedule 15, 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to pop by in a few days so I can take a look at your home, ask some questions, take some notes so I could potentially help you sell your home. All right, let's transition to making phone calls. So when you're calling expired listings, first of all, now you know their name and you want to be super high energy. You want it to sound like a friend call, not a sales call. So if I'm calling Brian, hey, Brian, John Dietz, local real estate expert with blank. I'm calling because I noticed your listing came off the market. Just curious, if I had a full price offer, would you want me to bring you the offer? Now, I didn't pause. I didn't even breathe because I want to get all of this in before Brian has an opportunity to hang up the phone, right? Another question, another option would be, I'm calling Dave. Dave, John Dietz, local real estate expert with blank, and I'd love to schedule some time to pop by and take a look at your home. Now, why do I like that script? Because this is somebody who had their home on the market. Yes, it's possible that they don't even know their home came off the market. You're calling them first thing in the morning and their home came off the market midnight last night. They may not even know, and you may hear, well, just call my agent and schedule an appointment. Now, your response to that is, actually, your home is no longer on the market. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that, but it came off the market at midnight last night. And I'd still like to pop by and take a look at your home so I could potentially bring you an offer. I'm available this afternoon, or would tomorrow be better? All right, another opening question is, hey, Megan, John Dietz, local real estate expert. Just curious, are you still interested in selling your home? Get right to it. You want to get to the question as fast as you can before they have a chance to hang up on you. And what's your hook? What are you going to say that's going to catch their attention? Megan, talk to me.
I'll let you tell the hook because I don't have one. So you would call expireds the day after. You're not waiting 3 months, 2 months for all of the other agent calls to die down.
Both. I'm doing both. So if I'm calling expireds, first of all, the strategy is day after, immediately day after. So I know this is recording, nobody turned me in. I started making expired calls as early as 7 a.m. in the morning, right? I want to be the first person to call them before their phone starts ringing off the hook. Now, what else is good about 7 a.m. in the morning? People are up, they're getting ready for work. You're getting them before they get to work, or you might get them on the way to work. Here's the other thing. If your phone rings at 7 a.m. in the morning, you're more likely to answer the phone. Maybe not, but maybe so. And if I call you at 7 a.m. in the morning, Megan, and you don't schedule an appointment with me, fine. I can put you on a hold list and call you again in a couple months, right? So I've called you the day your listing came off the market, and I'm going to go back and call you in a couple months. Are you going to remember that I called you? No, you're not. Now, nobody hear me saying that you should try once and then put them in a hold pile and wait 2 months, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this can be a list that I'm going to call again in 2 or 3 months, maybe 6 months. Now, the purpose of the call is to get the appointment, period, the end. So no matter what they say to me, all I want to do is get an appointment so I can potentially get face-to-face. Here's what I want you to remember. When you're on the phone, this is not fact, their thoughts. When you're on the phone, you're just another pushy realtor. When you're face-to-face, they're going to like you. I promise they're going to like you. Even the person who is the most abusive jackass on the phone is going to be your friend when you're standing at the door face-to-face. So the purpose of the call is to get the appointment. And one of the questions that I would ask, remember, logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. All right. So one of the emotions that has the greatest amount of impact when it comes to taking action is fear of loss. So if, Beth, you can say no to me seeing your home, which, by the way, I'm fine with that. And if you're still in your home 6 months from now and you realize that I could sell your home, matter of fact, I would have sold your home. Matter of fact, I sold a couple homes in your neighborhood, but I never sold yours because you said no, and now you're in your home 6 months later and it's worth less money. Are you okay with that? Now, just out of curiosity, what do you have to lose by giving me 15 minutes to come see your home so I could potentially bring you an offer? What do you have to gain? Isn't it true that you have a lot more to gain than you do to lose? I mean, the most that you're going to lose is 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe of your time, and you have the possibility of actually selling your home. But if you say no, there's no chance of me selling your home. Now, I'm going to let you go in just a minute. However, if you want an opportunity to sell your home, then give me 20 minutes to come take a look at it so I could potentially bring you an offer. Not all real estate agents are created equal. If all real estate agents were created equal, they would all be selling the same exact number of homes every single month. And we know that's not true. I'm on the phone making 50 to 60 phone calls every single day looking for buyers for the properties that I'm selling, which means I'm on the phone every single day making 50 to 60 calls looking for a buyer that could buy your home. But I'm never going to show that buyer your home unless you give me an opportunity to come see your home. You know, when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it usually comes down to one of three reasons, either price, presentation, or marketing. Now, just out of curiosity, which of those three do you believe is the reason your home didn't sell?
Before we get to 6:30, what's your follow-up like on an expired? Um, Two questions right here though. How much are you calling them before you get in contact with them, or to get in contact with them? And then when you do get in contact, what's your follow-up like to an expired?
That's a really good question. It's a really good question. All right, so here's your answer, Daryl. So if you looked at this just as an example of, let's say these are a list, if I printed them, okay? These are a list of expired listings. They're a new list of expired listings. I'm going to call them every single day for a week. Now, after a week, I'm going to move them into, let's say I have 5 stacks of papers right here, okay? After a week, I'm going to move them to a once a week call. After a couple months, I'm going to move them to a once a month call. And then after 6 months, I'm going to move them to once a quarter. Now, at some point, they are going to go in the trash because this will become this, right? All right. Now, I've got a new list. Let's call it A list, B list, C list, D list. And that's not order of importance. That's order of coming in. Now, Daryl, as far as follow-up is concerned, when you're follow up with an expired listing, it's different than following up with a for sale by owner, right? And it's, hey, Daryl, John Dietz, following up as promised. I know it's been about a week since we met. I know your plans were to wait 3 months before your home went back on the market. I just wanted to give you some updated information on what's going on in our market and see if you have any questions for me. So think service, think value. What can you provide them that is valuable information? What can you offer that is going to be a coming from a place of serving others? I'm going to wait until I hear either in your voice, tone, or in what you say. As soon as I see the door open, I'm going to go from being a farmer, because all of the time from the time I meet with you until you become, before you show me that you're interested in putting your home back on the market, I'm a farmer. Okay. Now, the moment I see opportunity, I become a hunter. And I mean, I become a hunter. It is blood in the water time. It is time to go get it. And simply, hey, Daryl, if I'm being too aggressive, please forgive me. However, if you were to hire a professional realtor, you'd want to hire an aggressive agent like me, wouldn't you? And it sounds like you're thinking of putting your house back on the market. Now, if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money and less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? All right, guys, talk to me. That was a whole lot, or maybe very little, depending on your perception. All right.
No,
I
that was
think I
good.
know
I like
lots of.
the was as far as like the follow-up part.
Yeah.
That's what I was really looking for.
Yeah.
So once every day for the week, then once every week, then once a month, and then once every quarter.
Yeah.
And that would make sense to throw them away after that, because it would stack up of
Yeah.
somebody not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right, Daryl. Brian, talk to me.
I was just saying back to, I think Dave's comment earlier, but I think, I just posted in the chat earlier, there's 80 withdrawals in the most in the last 7 days. 80 people have tried to sell their home and haven't. And, you know, I promise those people are getting just standard emails that are junk, but nobody's doing what we're talking about training, you know, putting our training into implementation. And everybody always thinks that, oh, everybody else is calling, that everybody else is calling. And I bet you it's so little, so few people.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Brian. All right, one more. Talk to me.
I like the just out of curiosity, and then asking it, you know, it's kind of like a flip on you know, asking a question, you know, and then finishing it with a yes question that they have to answer, you know, yes.
Good job, Sean. Proud of you, my friend. I have to lean in because I've got gallery view on and all of your pictures are about this big and I can't see anyways. All right, that's a wrap for today. I hope you guys got great value. This will be on our Survive to Thrive Facebook page. By the way, if you're not on that page, please go to Facebook and ask to be added. I will add you and make it a great day, everybody.
You too. See you guys tomorrow.
All right.